Hello everyone, how are you doing? I am Erin. Welcome back to my channel, Energy with Erin. I am a psychic slash energy healer. And today we are finally going to get down into what the psychic clairs are. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my experiences and what my clairs are. This is requested by Ashley over on Facebook. So thank you, Ashley. You asked for this a couple weeks ago and I'm finally delivering on it. So, you guys, there's a couple things that I want to get to before we get to that part. It's almost the end of the week. How are you guys doing? You guys surviving everything? How's the spicy communication? We're Mercury and Aries. We're almost out of that, you guys. We got like 2 more days. Okay, we're almost there. So, just so you guys know, I finally made the email. So if you guys have any stories, whether they're spooky or supernatural or ghost stories, or maybe they're more spiritual or like some cool signs that you guys saw, or like maybe you got a message from a loved one or you had a really cool dream visit, anything like that, you guys, anything weird. I want to hear your stories, okay? You do not have to say your name. You don't have to say anything, okay? You just have to send me an email at tellerinyourstory@gmail.com. I have a post on all my social medias. I have a post as well on YouTube. Okay, and it has the email. So feel free to send me your stories. And then once I have enough stories, I can make a video for you guys. So I'm really, really excited about that. I can't wait. Okay, let's see. Okay, the quote of the day. So technically by the time you guys watch this, it will be early Friday morning, but technically it's Thursday night. So the last day of April. April's almost over. May starts tomorrow. Mother's Day is coming up. Memorial Day is coming up. So much is happening. Oh my god, you guys, I can't even. I feel like the first half of April went so slow, and then the second half just went friggin' crazy. I don't get it. So the quote of the day is, "The future depends on what you do today." Okay, so if you guys are stuck in the same old loop and the same old patterns, you're just going to get the same old future that you have right now. If you change it up today, you're going to start unlocking new doors and opening new things in your future. Okay, so remember that. I know I've kind of touched on that in readings recently. Okay, so I also wanted to do an intuition test with you guys. All right, so I'm going to hold a crystal. You can either guess the color of the crystal, the name of the crystal, or maybe you'll get like the first letter of the name of the crystal. It's kind of a shape, but not really. But maybe you can get like the overall shape of it. So yeah, let's do that, okay? I'm gonna be sending it to you guys. Ready? Just relax. Whatever first comes to your mind is your intuition, okay? If you start second guessing it, it's probably not your intuition. All right, I'm gonna show it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you guys get it? Look at it in the light. So pretty. Selenite, you guys. Little selenite tower. So if you got maybe like a long rectangular shape or maybe like a triangular shape, that was pretty close. So selenite, you guys. This is, if I could recommend the top 3 crystals, if you could only pick 3, selenite, black tourmaline, and clear quartz, okay? Those are your basics. This is really good for your crown chakra, connection to spirit. This automatically cleanses your auric field. So this isn't real selenite. I believe this is gypsum spar. There's like different kinds. I have a piece of real selenite, but it's tucked away. But basically this is salt. So if you guys have selenite, do not, if you guys like to cleanse your crystals in water, don't put this in water because it will melt. This is salt. It's really good. Salt is a crystal. Salt's a mineral, and we need it to survive, right? Oh, look at that. Literally. So cleansing and clearing for your aura. So this is good stuff. This is high vibe stuff. This also naturally cleanses and clears your crystals. So in my collection, I probably have the most selenite because it's just so good for everything. It's good for protection, connecting with angels, all that good stuff. So did you get it? Did you get it right? Selenite, white, clear, shiny. It reminds you of the moon, the light of the moon. All right, you guys, good job. Another thing that came up to me, I was looking through books so that I could, because I'm preparing for other videos for you guys. And I saw a book that I haven't picked up in a while, and I was like, oh my God, why don't I do that for you guys? So I was like, let me pick up my angel number book that I have by Kyle Gray. It literally has every single number from 0 to 1,000. Very cool. But for me personally, a lot of these messages, and because there's 1,000 numbers in here, they typically end up repeating themselves. But starting out with angel numbers, like this is a really good one, especially if you're seeing some weird ones, other than like 111, 222, 223. If you're getting some really weird ones, this could be good. So what I did was, and you guys can do this too, this is a good psychic exercise. Pick up a book that you're drawn to. Okay, remember, use your intuition. And then you're going to go through the book, and then whenever you feel right, like for me, I heard stop, so I stopped on that page. And then if there's a lot of text on the page, you can even, don't look, but run your finger down the page, and then when you feel like you need to stop, and that could be like the sentence you need to hear, or the paragraph, or whatever. So, the angel number for you guys. So there's 3 on each on the page. I didn't get a particular inkling on which one is for you, so I'm just going to read them. They're short, so I'm going to read all 3. Really 663 was the one that stuck out to me, but I'll read them all. So 662, the lessons you are experiencing are being presented because you are still lacking in understanding and forgiveness of other parties. Forgiving others is a gift of freedom to yourself. Yeah, it is. We've been talking about forgiveness for a while, guys, too, so that might be it. Let me know in the comments which one resonates with you and if you have been seeing these numbers. The next one, 663. This is the one that stuck out to me personally. Your energy requires your honest focus and attention at this time. It's important to follow the path that will take you to joy rather than your ego's wishes and false promises. Follow your joy, follow your soul calling, okay? And the last one, 664. Angel wisdom is encouraging you to listen to the voice of your soul with regard to those you are choosing to surround yourself with at this time. So listen to yourself, not the others, okay? Listen to yourself in regard to what your soul is saying about other people. That's your discernment coming in, okay, guys? That's your discernment trying to tell you where to go and who to trust and who not to trust, okay? All right. So next, before we start talking about the clairs, the psychic clairs, basically your psychic senses, right? We are going to take a quick little easy quiz to see if you guys are psychic. You might be wondering if you're psychic. I believe there are some people who are naturally gifted and just born that way. And it's really in your genetic makeup. It's in your DNA. But I believe we all humans have some level of intuition. And it's just a matter of practice, really. At least that's what I believe and have come to understand. So, do you guys think you're psychic? I think, especially with what's going on right now, I think a lot of people, their gifts are coming online and they've never had that happen before. So it's going to freak some of them out, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing, you guys. Okay. So you can either get a piece of paper for this, or you could it's just 10 questions. Okay. So what I would do, if you don't want to grab a piece of paper, just put a finger up for each yes. Okay. And then we're going to tally the yeses, because it's a yes or no or maybe. Okay. Are you ready? Do you have a piece of paper, or are you going to use your hands? Which one? Okay. Here we go. First question. Do you dislike and often avoid crowds? Yep, that's a yep for me. Do you dream often and in color? Does your first impressions of people most often prove correct? Do you have a deep interest in all things paranormal? Have you seen a spark of light or a flash out of the corner of your eye? As a child, did you have a difficult time sleeping? Were you often scared, or did you just wake up a lot? Have you ever had a dream come true in real life? Do you easily guess the ending of books or movies? Sometimes for me, not always. Do you prefer to interact with people one-on-one rather than in a group? And the last question, do you see things in shades of gray rather than black and white? In other words, do you easily see things from both sides of a situation? That's 8 for me. What did you guys get? What's your score? What's your score? So that would be, for me, that'd be an 80%. Okay? That's pretty good. What did you guys get? Comment down below what you got. Did you always know you were psychic? Was it something that just kind of came to you? Like, I want to hear your story. I want to hear your story, you guys, about how you found out. All right, so now we're going to talk about the psychic clairs, or your psychic abilities. There are quite a few of them, okay? So, we're going to go through all kinds of stuff, you guys. I hope you're ready. Take some notes if you want, or just sit back, relax, and take a listen. And maybe just take notes of like, oh yeah, that's mine, or I think that could be mine. Okay? So clairs, the clairs. What does clair mean? Clair is French for the word clear. Like clear vision, clear whatever. Okay? So anytime you see the word clair, it means clear and then whatever that sense is, okay? So the first one, and probably the most popular one that people have heard of, is clairvoyance. Okay, voyance, voyeur. You like to what does a voyeur do? They like to watch people. So clairvoyance is clear seeing. All right, that's related to our third eye chakra, your pineal gland. Okay. And this is the ability to gain visual information, okay? That doesn't always mean that you're seeing things in front of you. It could mean that, but typically, usually, you see it in your mind's eye, okay? For me, my mind's eye looks like not the best way to describe it is a blackboard. It's not really a blackboard. It's like kind of looks like black smoke and then things just kind of appear. So you might see images, you might see like a full on like vision, like it looks like a video recording. You could see signs. You have the ability to recognize and see signs in everyday life, seeing symbols and recognizing what that symbol is, okay? Or even just seeing a symbol and being like, that's a symbol for something. Because like, I don't know if you guys know, there's symbols everywhere. Like if once you learn the language of symbolism, it's a whole nother layer on top of the reality. And once you see those symbols in real life, it's like, oh, okay, I see more. Remember, I see more, clairvoyance. So yeah, you usually see it in your mind's eye, but you can sometimes you can see them straight on. So usually with children, right? Children, because they're so fresh from being on the other side, they are much more susceptible to seeing things. Like, I'm sure if you feel like are a psychic or a medium, you probably had some strange experiences as a kid. You probably saw things, okay? And it's not just, oh, part of it is like, oh, the world has, when you get older, the world programs you out of your natural state of being like that. But also, you guys have to realize the rods and cones in your eyes are not fully developed until you're about between 4 and 6 years old. And that's usually when kids start going into school. Okay. And that is usually when things start kind of changing and shifting for them and they can't see as much. Okay. So when I was a child, I mean, I was born psychic. I was born with gifts. I was born with a call over me, and that is a sign that you're psychic. When I came out of my mother, I literally I didn't cry. I just looked around, and I've always been told I'm an old soul. Like, I've just always been very mature for my age. Like, so that's just me, right? So when I was a kid, I could see dead people and they looked like real people. Okay, I don't see them like that anymore. It's more in my mind's eye. Part of that was because I kind of told spirit, like, I had a really bad physical attack around like 12 years old. So I like pretty much told spirit in my own way without realizing it that like I'm too scared. I can't do this. Like, I don't want to see them anymore. Please, I don't want to see them. I can feel them. I can definitely feel them, and I can see them in my mind's eye now. And then sometimes if it's like a really haunted place, I will definitely see them. So I saw ghosts as people growing up, like, and I didn't realize they were ghosts until like I would ask like my mom or dad, like, "Oh, did you see that little boy there? Like, or did you see that woman there?" And they're like, "Well, what are you talking about? Like, who are you talking to?" And it's just like, I was talking to the lady. And it's just like, there's no lady there. It's like, oh, okay. Like, I used to play with a little boy up in my attic in one of my family homes growing up, and he looked like a boy from the 1800s, kind of like the Newsies boys. And I didn't really question why he was in the attic. I just kind of assumed he was like an imaginary friend, but he was a ghost. He was definitely a ghost. Another time, we were at a funeral, and my parents didn't want me, like, they obviously they brought me, but they didn't want me at the funeral. So they let me wander around the cemetery, and under this tree there was this woman in black Victorian, beautiful black Victorian clothing, and obviously she was like a widow of some sort. um but I just went up to her and talked to her, and she was very pleasant. And then my mom came over and was like, "Who are you talking to?" And I'm like, "The lady," and there's no lady there. So yeah, that is a little bit of clairvoyance, you guys. You'll know if you're clairvoyant by, like, remember, especially with all of these clairs, it's about how the way you speak is a clue to what you have if you're not sure what you have, right? So you could be saying things like, "Oh, I see it so clearly." Like, "Do you see what I mean?" Or like, "Can you picture that?" Remember, listen to your language. That's gonna tell you what your clairs are, okay? Um Crystals, the type of crystals that you can use to help support your clairvoyance popping on, or just trying to support it. Dark blue or purple crystals, okay? Because that is associated with your third eye chakra. That's the color of the third eye. Um, Another thing that you can do is visualize your third eye opening. And there's tons of meditations on YouTube that you can use, or you could just do it by on your own. And remember, as always, with all of these, meditation, practice, and trusting in your abilities is going to help strengthen them over time. Okay. Those are the three things I always suggest to practice. Um, if you guys are interested, let me know down below. I can go over a whole video of tons of different exercises for all the different clairs, but only if you're interested. Okay. All right, so that was clairvoyance, you guys. I am clairvoyant, okay? Basically I have experienced all of the clairs except for one of them, okay? But I have a top 3 one. It's more, yeah, it's 3/4, so. Okay, next we have clairaudient. Audience, okay? Audio, hearing, clear hearing of spirit, the ability to hear sounds from spirit or just sounds outside in the world. Like sometimes you can audibly hear it out loud. That's not typical. Usually you can just hear, like, it's like a voice in your head. And starting out, it's typically your own voice. Like for me, I always used to talk to myself growing up, not in a crazy way, but just like kind of bouncing ideas off myself. And I realize now I was talking to my spirit guides or even my higher self, like bouncing ideas off and getting advice and all that stuff. Or I was like, oh, it's my conscience. No, I was having discussions with my spirit guides. I didn't know that until recently. So, let's see. So you could hear words, you could hear names. A really good sign of your clear audience popping on and your spirit guides are ready to talk to you is hearing your name being called. So that happened to me when I started my job 12 years ago. I had to sleep over work for like half the summer, and it was like an emergency situation, and I heard my name being called in the middle of the night, and it was really scary because I hadn't had scary experiences until then. And then in the next room I would hear people talking, but like you couldn't hear what they were saying. And like I would put my ear to the door and like listen, but in the minute I opened the door it stopped. And I found out later I was hearing spirit guides talking. I was tuning into them, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. At first I thought it was ghosts, and it could have been ghosts, but I think it was spirit guides. So yeah, usually you hear it in your mind. Sometimes it is out loud. I have heard things audibly out loud. I've heard my name growled by something really not nice. Like literally like right in my ear. Like that's a little creepy. But yeah. So hearing your name and stuff. Song lyrics. Like earlier, like a Madonna's Like a Prayer was playing in my head, and I'm like, I don't really like that song, but apparently there's a message in that song for me. And usually it's not the whole song, it's the line that keeps playing in your head, okay? And also picking up song lyrics, it's like it's having the ability to, like, your ear perks up, you're like, "Oh, like, why did that one line stick out to me?" That's a message. It's a message from spirit. It could also be things from a poem, or maybe you just hear phrases. Um, yeah. So a lot of people confuse clairaudience with mental illness, okay? Like thinking that, oh, it's bad to hear voices in your head, okay? So if you are clairaudient, the way to tell the difference between a mental illness and if it's like something good is like, how is it speaking to you? Okay? Is it frightening? Is it threatening? Does it seem evil? Or are the messages good, kind, comforting, validating? Okay? If it's more love and light, it's clairaudience, okay? If it's something negative, there's most likely something trying to attach to you, or just trying to like put negative thoughts in your heads to make you do things. Because that does happen, you guys. It really does. And doing drugs and alcohol helps them get in easier, okay? Because your spiritual armor goes down when you do drugs and alcohol. It changes your frequency and it leaves you open to attack, okay? And they love it. They were just waiting for their opportunity. Um, so yeah, with schizophrenic people, when they hear and see things, I really do feel for schizophrenic people because we're very much like two sides of the same coin. Like they are very gifted, but they're open all the time. They can't shut it down. And then entities and beings and spirit will take advantage of them and have a field day with them. I really do feel for them because they're under spiritual attack 24/7 and they can't tell, reality from what they're seeing. And it's like, are they actually seeing stuff that we can't see, or like are they seeing things because these entities are putting it in their head? Like, that's a debate, right? But so I feel, and like my mentor gives the example of I am swimming in the same waters that they are drowning in. So, yeah, it's really sad. So to help your clairaudience and to help have it come online and work with it more, spend time in silence, okay? Complete silence. You could also, like me, I like to bird watch. So I can, because I've been doing it for so long, I know which birds make which noise. So like if I could sit there and close my eyes out and go outside in the middle of the day, I could be like, okay, that's a chickadee, that's a cardinal, that's a yellowfinch, without even opening my eyes. That stuff like that is gonna help strengthen. Chanting, doing chants. I don't really do that, but if you're into that sort of thing, there's tons of things online that you can do. When you do get the song that keeps coming in your head, look up the lyrics, okay? It's a message for you. And obviously clairaudience has to do with your throat chakra. So crystals that are going to help you are the lighter blue crystals, okay? And ways that you'll know that you're clairaudient, you'll say things like, "Oh, that sounds right to me," or "Do you hear me? Like, do you hear what I'm saying?" That sort of thing. I am also very clairaudient. I believe I got that from both my parents. I know my mom has heard stuff. And when my dad was alive, he was very in tune with music. Like music would really move him. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's where I think I got it from. All right, next we have clairsentience, which is clear feeling, okay? That means you're very empathetic to other people. You can sense emotions of other people. You pick up on other people's emotions and it can affect you, okay? So if you're around someone who's really anxious, you start feeling anxious. You might start getting a tummy ache, or you might start fidgeting. If you're around someone who's really happy and bubbly, you feel really happy and bubbly. Or if they're really sad, you start feeling sad. Or if they're angry, you start getting like scared and anxious, okay? And this is your solar plexus chakra, all right? And that's yellow. Tips for this: follow your gut feelings, okay? You have your brain, which is important, your heart, which is important, and you have your gut. Your gut makes your hormones, you guys, okay? Why do you think they're attacking us with food and everything? They want to disconnect that, okay? Follow your gut feeling. That is your intuition telling you something. So I am clairsentient as well. For example, I've been around 2 people in my life where I physically wanted to vomit in their presence. And that was my clairsentience telling me that person is really, really bad and you need to get the frick away from them right now. Like, to the point where, like one time it was in high school, one of them, this guy, like, was trying to date me or whatever, and, like, I knew he was dating all these other girls, and, like, I'm like, I didn't spend time on boys in high school. It was, like, it was just a waste of time for me. So he wouldn't leave me alone. He was, like, stalking me at a football game. He was trying to hold my hand, and, like, the minute he held my hand, I almost vomited. Like, I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is so gross." And, like, he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't leave me alone. Like, I literally, like, had to run away and hide from him. And then, like, he tried calling my house, like, for days and days and days. He would not listen. I'm like, "Please don't call this house again. Like, lose my number." Would not listen. And then another person, I can't go into this because it's too personal, but there was a person that I met, and the minute I met him, I was just like, "You are a really, really abusive, bad person. Like, you are evil. And you hide behind God. And you are evil." And he's just like, "Yeah, we're really similar. We're in the same line of work." And I'm like, "Do not," in my head, I was like, "Do not compare yourself to me." Like, I clocked him immediately. I was like, "No, you're a terrible person." He was a very abusive person. Okay, very bad. So follow your gut feelings, you guys. And the more you follow your gut feeling, the more you're affirming to spirit that you trust your intuition, you trust your gifts and your abilities, and that you are telling them this works for me. So they're going to be sending more stuff your way. When I was going through my spiritual development and learning about these things and working on my own, the more you lean into whatever gift you have, the more spirit will send it that way. And then the more you get to learn it and feel it inside and out. And the more you do these kinds of things, other things will start opening up. Okay. Like, once you've mastered one thing, another thing might open up for you. And it evolves over time. Like, because people will ask me, like, "How are you so good at it?" Like, yes, I have a natural ability. Okay. I'm just naturally like this. Yes. But I also work and practice on it, and I trust in myself. Okay. That is what's going to help it. It takes time. And it's not going to happen when your ego wants it to happen. It's going to happen when you're ready on a soul level. You can ask for it, yes, but it's going to come when God deems you are ready for it, okay? Not when you deem you're ready for it. So things that you might say when you're a clairsentient, okay? "This doesn't feel right to me." Like, "Guys, I have a really bad feeling. We need to leave, like, right now." Okay, that's one. Or I have a gut feeling about this person, or I have a gut feeling about this, okay? So yellow crystals, because it's your solar plexus chakra, that's your personal power, okay? Yellow crystals are going to be really, really good for that. And another quick little thing that you can do to help strengthen this, you can visualize like a yellow ball of light, like your own mini sun, um, starting to grow in light and size out of your solar plexus chakra, right in the middle of your stomach, okay? And just having it radiate out, okay? Um, so yeah, that's clairsentience. So clear feeling. I have that as well. So those are my top 3. Clairvoyance, I see things. Clairaudient, I hear things. And clairsentient, I feel things, okay? Those are my top 3, personally. Next, we have claircognizance, which is clear knowing, okay? This is your crown chakra, your connection to source. Your clear knowing, you're getting direct messages from source, and it comes in like that, okay? It's an intuitive inner knowing. You don't know how you know something, but you just know it's true. Okay, I get this a lot as well, especially when I'm channeling and doing automatic writing. It is very subtle, but it is powerful and it is instant. But you need to trust it. You need to trust it. The minute you second guess yourself, it's no bueno. It's kind of like when you're taking a test and you're like, "Yeah, that's the right answer," and then you second guess yourself, and then you change your answer, and then when the test gets graded, you're like, "Damn it, the first one was right." Okay, go with the first one. It's your intuition. Things that you say when you have claircognizance is like, "I knew that was going to happen," or "I knew you were going to say that." Okay. This is also sort of related to telepathy, where you can talk to each other or like pick up what people are thinking. And a really good stone for that, you guys, is shadakite. Okay. It's kind of It's not rare, but it's kind of hard to find. It is expensive. This piece is expensive. It is a copper-based mineral. Remember, copper is a conductor of electricity. We are electromagnetic beings. So this makes sense to me why this works for telepathy. So when I was going through my crystal healing for about 2 years, I would work with one crystal a week to really get to know that crystal. I would do a specific meditation. I would sleep with it. If I had jewelry, I would wear it. I would carry it with me all day long, keep it in my purse, like try to not talk to it, but I mean, you can't talk to crystals, but talk to it, journal with it, all that stuff. So that's how I got to know crystals. Okay. I really recommend that if you guys are into crystals. Okay. When I worked with this, by the end of the week, I could literally hear what my husband was thinking, like every day. It gets exhausting because you don't want to hear people's thoughts, but I believe if you guys share a piece of Shattakai, even if you're not together, sharing the piece, it can be two different pieces. You don't have to split one stone in half. But sharing the piece, it will help with your telepathic abilities with that other person. So, very cool to try out. Shattakai, you guys. Very cool. Okay. Okay, so remember, claircognizance, it's going to be instant. If it's instant, it's your intuition. Okay? If it takes time, that's your thoughts forming and that's your ego. Okay? Ways to help this and help strengthen it. Meditate. Again, meditate for all of these. Okay? Meditation. Learn to separate your intuition versus your thoughts. Okay, over time, start out by noting it. If you're like a writer, you need to write down, like, or journal or reflect. Write that stuff down, and over time, you'll start noticing the patterns. And the more you trust it, the more you won't even have to write it down anymore. You'll just know, and you'll be like, okay, no, I know that is me and not my ego. Okay. Automatic writing is part of this. I automatic write like all the time, you guys. So that's a sign of claircognizance. Doing a violet flame meditation, because that's all about your crown chakra and your upper chakras, right? There are tons and tons and tons of violet flame meditations on YouTube, just music or guided meditation. So that's a good one. And crystals to help with this are any clear crystals or any purple crystals, because remember, it's the crown chakra. All right, moving on. So those are like the really big ones, you guys. All right. The next ones that we're going to go over are like kind of like the smaller subset ones and not very common. So we got clairvoyance, seeing things, clairaudience, hearing things. You have clairsentience, which is feeling things, and claircognizance, which is knowing things. Next, we have clairalience, which is clear smelling. Okay, that's your throat chakra. Suddenly smelling something that has symbolic meaning to you. Typically this is like a sign from spirit, more often than not, in my experience. It's an odor or scent that's not physically in your surrounding. It just comes up suddenly. So common things that you could smell, like perfume or cologne, cigarette smoke, or even like other kinds of smoke. Roses, flowers, and food, among other things. Or even if it's like something bad, like usually people smell sulfur if there's something bad around, right? So take note of the scent when it comes in. Why? What were you thinking of the time? Okay, maybe that's connected. Usually it is. Try to track down what smell it is and what it means or who it's from. So, for example, there was one night at work where I had prayed for someone. They're having a really hard time. And I knew that they were close to this one family member who had passed. So I prayed to that family member. I was like, hey, if you can come help out this person, they're having a really tough time, and I know you guys had a special connection. If you come and help them, that would be really good. And literally that night, this person had a dream and like called me the next day and was like, what did you do? Because I had a crazy dream about that person, and they didn't know that I had prayed for them. So in the middle of the night, because I was at work when this happened, I didn't know this, that he was having the dream visitation or whatever was going on. In the middle of the night, I'm just like reading a book because I'm at work, and all of a sudden I smell smoke, like like cigar smoke, and I was like, okay, we can't smoke in this building. Like there's no one smoking here. So I knew it was spirit, and I could feel spirit, and I was like, I could just feel the warmth, and I was like, oh, okay, I think I know who that is. So then I came home and I talked to the person, and I was just like, does that person that I prayed to, like, did they used to smoke? And they were like, yeah, they did actually. And I was like, oh my God, do you know what it smells like? And they told me, and I was like, yep, that was the sign from spirit. Another common one is roses. Usually when like loved ones are around you, you'll smell roses, or even angels. They say angels, you'll smell roses. So finding that connection of like what the smell is and who it is and who it represents. So for example, like if your grandma always bakes homemade apple pie and she's coming by and sending you a sign and visiting you, you could smell that apple pie, guys. It's pretty cool. So a way to help practice this is practice differentiating smells. So do like a blind test, right? So put a blindfold on and like get some really aromatic things, whether it's like a flower or perfume, or like maybe a cigarette, or something that's smelly, and with the blindfold on, smell them and try to identify what it is. Okay. And then crystals that will help with this, or any kind of blue crystals. Okay. Dark blue, light blue, doesn't matter, okay? Because remember, it's your smelling, so it's kind of halfway between your throat and your third eye. So light blue, dark blue is good. All right, next. Clairgustance. This is the only one I've never experienced, you guys. So far. Clairgustance is clear taste. Yeah. Apparently some people can taste stuff, which is crazy. So it's the ability to taste without anything being physically in your mouth. Okay. Again, this is your throat chakra. So any kind of blue crystal will help with this. Same thing with the clairalience. So take note of what you're tasting in your mouth, and when and why. Like, what were you thinking about? Maybe someone was talking about someone, and like maybe you tasted grandma's apple pie in your mouth. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see. So ask yourself, what does it mean? Stop. Like, what does it mean? Why am I tasting this in my mouth? Why am I tasting that? Like, ask, okay? Maybe you'll get another sign. And again, do the test. Practice the different tastes, okay? Kind of like on Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, where in the beginning of the show, they make all the chefs put on a blindfold and they taste food and they have to tell them what it is. That's a really good one. But yeah, again, I've never had that one. My mentor said that she has tasted like dirt in her mouth before when going by a graveyard. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So that's another one. Let's see. I think we have like two more, you guys. Clairtangency is the next one. That's clear touch. Okay. Also known as psychometry. Okay. So this is the ability to receive information from touching. Okay. Whether that's touching a person, touching an item, personal item, or jewelry. Even jewelry is very highly charged because the metal and the jewels, or even places or a photo. Okay. So this is your heart chakra. Okay. So green or pink crystals is going to help with this. So you could be getting information from an item. You could be getting the history of the item, or maybe you're picking up on the energies of the owner of the item. So for me, my husband has some, I think it was like a medical bracelet from one of his grandparents, and I didn't even touch it. I looked at it, but I connected with the energy of that person, and I've never met this person in real life, but I could pick up the energy, and I was like, oh, is this person like this? And was this person like that? And he's like, yeah, actually, yeah. So that's one of them. So normally I would have to hold that object, but I'm at the point where I can just kind of look at it. So yeah, even going to like historic places and like touching the building, or like touching a gravestone, or touching the dirt, stuff like that. Okay. You could go to thrift. I do not like thrift stores, you guys, because of this, because I can feel the energy and it's so icky. Just I feel gross just thinking about it. But you can go into a thrift store and practice. Okay, pick up items and see what you get. Just please, for the love of God, cleanse yourself before and after. You don't want anything hitchhiking on the way home with you. Okay, no, we don't want that. Or you could do, I call it a purse party, right? Have a party. You could do this. Have a party with your girlfriends, or if you're out to eat, or if you're at a sleepover, if you're younger or whatever. Everyone take out something from your purse and don't know whose is whose, and pass it around and see what you guys can get. That's a really good, fun way to do it. All right, and the last one, you guys, which I know a lot of you have, I have this as well. Clear empathy, okay? So these are the empaths. This is clear emotional intuition, okay? It's very, very similar to clairalience, okay? But we're going to go over the difference in a minute. So, it's very much like being a psychic surrogate, okay? What the other person is feeling, you are feeling. Not just emotions, but physical pain too, okay? So yeah, so it's similar to clairalience, which is clear feeling. The clair empath adds power, okay, to detect. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, so the emotion, you detect the emotional resonance from other people, and you could also do that with locations and times, okay? Because with clairalience, you are just detecting other people's emotions. With clair empathy, you can do it with everything. Everything. So, like, I can feel trees when they're in pain. I can hear them, like, screaming. Like, I can feel their pain. It's really horrible sometimes. But I can feel the energy of a location. When I went out to the Midwest for a couple times a couple years ago, I could feel the energy of like the 1800s and like just like the Victorian time, and it wasn't just the buildings, and like I could feel that energy, and all the images of like ghosts I was seeing was from that time frame. Or a time and a place. So if you go to like an ancient site, you could tap into what it was like back in those times. Okay. So again, this is your heart chakra. So pink or green crystals are going to work great for this. Many natural healers use this ability in their work. Okay. This is how I use this a lot when I'm healing as well. Many people feel physical pain with this gift. Okay. Both people who are alive and in spirit. So when I was doing practice readings, when I was learning how to do this stuff, one of the questions, because they would give us a list of questions to ask, like the person on the other side that you're talking to. And so one of the questions is, how did you die? And because I have clear empathy, they would show me by showing the pain. So if someone had a heart attack, my heart would squeeze, and I, like, not horribly, like some people really experience it to the point where they actually feel like they're having the heart attack. Mine's not that bad. I told them, like, okay, give me like a 5-second knowing, okay, and then after that you can start it off. But now it's to the point where I'm just like and you can tell spirit this, if you're not comfortable with how the gift is coming in, you can tweak it, you can tell them, okay, and they'll do it a different way. Keep that in mind. That's for all of them, all the gifts. So I would tell them, like, okay, I don't want to feel like I'm freaking dying like the person died, so can you just like tell me, or like show me an area of my body, or like just touch the area of my body, because for some people it's very intense, okay? So this could also be people. So back when I was practicing my energy healing, I would do a body scan on my husband, right? And he was awake during this. So I would go over his body, and I'd be like, oh, like your shoulder is really messed up, and this is happening in your ankles, like your ankles are weak, and this, that, the other thing. And he's just like, how did you freaking know that? Just from going like that. And it's like, I'm just telling you what I'm picking up. So that is part of the gift, okay? It can be helpful, okay? But remember, if it's too much, ask spirit to tweak it. This is with any of the gifts, okay, you guys? You need to discern, okay, which emotions, feeling, and sensations are yours versus what's not, okay? That's what's going to help you strengthen this ability, okay? What's yours versus what's someone else's. Okay, because that's, empaths have a very difficult time with that, because they're empaths because their heart chakra is so open. And I've said this before, we have an electromagnetic field, which is your aura, by the way. Okay, we have an electromagnetic field around our body. It's basically Like, that's your bubble. Like, you know, when people are like, you're in my personal bubble, it's because they're in your auric field disturbing it. And you're picking up on that and you don't like it. But our heart chakra has its own field and it goes out like 3 times as much, okay? So empaths, their heart chakra is so open. That's why they can feel everything. They can feel people. They can feel the energy of a room because their feelers are out everywhere. They need to learn to close their heart chakra up a little bit, okay? So it's not as, or learn how to deal with it so it's not as intense. That's why I tell people do an energetic bubble around you because it tightens and brings your aura in closer so you're not feeling everything. And it's more protective to you. Versus if you're feeling like you can even, like I'm feeling it right now, you can practice this, like practice condensing your energy and bringing it close versus pushing it out. Okay? And you can do that with a partner, like a friend, partner, whatever, and try to go back and forth and see what you guys feel. That's a really good exercise. So, ways to know that you're empathic is you could say like, oh, I feel blah blah blah, like I feel you're this, I feel you're anxious, I feel that you have pain here, okay? Or you could say like, oh, like, oh, it really hurts in my chest right now, and then the other person's like, really? Because I have bronchitis right now. So you could be picking up on that, okay? Ways to help strengthen this: journal about it, okay? Journal it. That's going to help you, once again, putting it on paper and learning the pattern recognition, okay? Writing it down is going to help you, the journaling. Yeah, recognizing patterns, being present minded, focus, okay? Stay in the present moment. Meditate, get to know yourself, get to know you inside and out. That way you can be like, oh, that's me, that's not that person, or that's not a spirit, okay? And obviously, once again, meditate, you guys. Remember, the top 3 things to help with these: meditate, practice, and trusting. Okay? So, how many clairs do you guys have? How many have you experienced? So, like, you could definitely have a couple, but then experience some here and there, but it's not your strength, right? Like, for me, like, the smelling, that happens typically with when spirit is around. That doesn't happen to me every day in and out, okay? But the other stuff does. So, did any surprise you? Any new information? Like, do you guys feel like you have a lot of these? If you do, comment down below. I'm always so interested in know other people's gifts and how it works. Like, there's some people who only have 1. There's some people who have 2. There's some people who have 3. There's some people who have all 5. Okay? I've experienced most of them. That's because I have more practice. I have a lifetime of practice without even realizing it. So that was that. I hope that was helpful for you guys. I hope that was fun. Tomorrow's video is going to be about the full moon in Scorpio. There's a full moon tomorrow. It's the 1st of May. So we're going to do a video on that. And then Saturday, I'm going to put out the energetic reading for May. That's going to be a big one. So it's going to be like the overview of like some astrological stuff happening in the month. I know we have 2 full moons this month. So the second moon is going to be a blue moon, because that's what a blue moon is. A blue moon is when there's 2 full moons in 1 month. What is it? It happens every couple years, I want to say. Not couple months, right? I think it happens like 3 times a year or every 3 years. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. And then Sunday, I'm going to be making a video about the book that made me not afraid to die. And I'm going to share that with you, and a couple other books that kind of are along the same vein that could help you guys. So, that's all for me today for you guys. How are we doing? You doing good? You having a good week so far? All right. So that's it for me. Once again, I am Erin with Energy with Erin. Please, guys, if you have your stories that you want to send me that you would like me to make a video of, please send them to telerinyourstory@gmail.com. Okay? I cannot wait to hear your stories. It's going to be so cool. Maybe you guys have some stories about your gifts and how they popped on. And also, comment down below. Let me know how you guys found your gifts. Were you born with them? did something happen that kind of turned them on for you? Like, I'm very curious to know. Let me know in the comments down below. But as usual, like, comment, subscribe. Once again, I'm Erin with Energy with Erin, and I love you guys. I'm sending you peace, love, light, and healing. And until the next video, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.